Are you curious about environmentally friendly single-serve coffee pods? Well, they do exist, and we're going to tell you about them today here on Aromacup.com. Now, as I said in the intro to this video, if you've ever been curious about environmentally friendly single-serve coffee, because let's face it, a lot of single-serve coffee uses a lot of plastic and tinfoil and various other things. If you've ever been curious about an environmentally friendly option, we're going to tell you about one today, and that's going to be by making use of single-serve coffee and tea pods. Now we're going to be talking about using these with the Sunkana single-serve pod brewer. So let me just tell you a little bit about these pods and how you can brew some great coffee and tea by making use of them. What I have right here is some Folgers Morning Blend single-serve coffee pods. Now if you're a Folgers lover, and I think there's a lot of you out there, and you want to get single-serve ease with Folgers, and you want to be environmentally friendly about it, coffee pods are a great way to do it. Now, they're usually going to come in a pack much like the one that I have right here, and inside you're going to find a foil pack, which when you open that foil pack up, is going to contain a coffee pod. Now, in some cases, you can recycle that pack, so that's already something that's leading towards the environmental friendliness of these pods. And then you have your coffee pod itself. Now, this is completely made of paper with coffee grounds inside of it. This is nothing incredibly new. Coffee pods have been around for a while, but we're starting to see more big brands making coffee pods. And I think that's coming from the fact that more big brands are wanting to be environmentally friendly about their coffee. So Folgers, of course, is one of those brands that has entered that space. Sunkana themselves also make single-serve pods. I also have these Bigelow Earl Grey tea pods, and you're going to find a number of other different pod types that you can use with a pod brewer. Now I'm just going to use the Folgers pod that I opened up earlier. Now brewing is really simple and straightforward with a Sunkana single-serve pod machine. I'm just going to flip up this handle here on the left-hand side of the machine and pull out the pod tray. Now into the pod tray, I'm just going to place my coffee pod, and you'll notice that it very plainly says this side up. So just put the pod in, this side up, up. Place that back into the machine and lock down that arm, and then you can select your brew volume. And in this case, I'm just going to go ahead and go for 5 ounces. And when the number is done blinking on the LCD screen, press brew. Now, something that I have found, and in times past when we've talked about the Sunkana single-serve pod brewer, that I haven't seen with a lot of other single-serve machines, especially those that are meant for making coffee, is that because of the pressure inside of this machine and the way that it brews, you actually get a crema on your coffee pod, which is kind of interesting because we're used to only seeing most of the time a crema on espresso. But in this case, I'm getting it on a coffee pod, which I think is pretty cool. I also found that I really do like the flavor of a coffee pod. And one of the major reasons I think for that is because there's no plastic involved. This is all, 100% a filter. This is kind of like when you've done drip style coffee, but with single serve ease. Now, here's where the environmental friendliness comes in. Again, most single serve pods make use of a lot of plastic, paper, foil, things like that. This pod, however, because it is only a filter and coffee grounds, you can compost this if you want. If you do end up throwing it away, it's going to be 100% biodegradable. But if you have a garden, or maybe if there is a composting program where you live, something like that, you can compost these and really be able to not have as much of an impact on the earth, which is pretty cool. Green single-serve coffee making is not something that we see as often in the single-serve world, and I think that that's something that a lot of folks might be looking for when they're going to enjoy single-serve coffee. Now, where can you find out more about getting these single-serve pods and a single-serve pod brewer? You'll want to check out the link in the description of our video. I'll tell you the best way to add these to your at-home coffee shop. And there you have it, guys. Those are single-serve coffee pods, in this case from Folgers, Sunkana, and Bigelow Tea. And of course, the Sunkana single-serve pod brewer, great environmentally friendly way to enjoy single-serve coffee. Now, if you guys have questions, comments, if there's anything that I missed, please feel free to get in touch with us in the comments section of this video or visit us on Aromacup.com. You can check out Sunkana at Single Cup Coffee. Aromacup.com. As always, guys, I'm Brian, coming to you from my virtual coffee shop, brought to you by Aromacup.com. Until next time, enjoy your cup, and I'll see you next time. Take care.